Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about the major events that shook Korea and the world in 2023. From earthquakes to economic fluctuations, let's review 2023's special year. Before the video, please subscribe. Set your alarms. It really helps make videos. First, in February, the month of shock. On February 8th, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck western Turkey. The quake killed around 40,000 people and injured over 100,000 more. The earthquake caused massive damage, crushing buildings and cutting off roads. The earthquake in Turkey shocked South Korea. Although Korea doesn't get many earthquakes, it experienced the Jeonju earthquake in 2016. The earthquake in Turkey has raised awareness of earthquakes in South Korea. On February 22nd, the birth rate of Korea hit an all-time low. Last year, the total birth rate was 0.78 to 249,000 babies. That's the lowest since the statistics in 1970. Korea's low birth rate has been mentioned for a long time. But as the birth rate continues to decline, there is growing concern about the future of Korea. Next, we will move on to March. On March 20th, America's largest investment bank, SVB, went bankrupt. SVB's focus on cryptocurrency investment resulted in losses and bankruptcy. The bankruptcy of SVB sent shockwaves through the financial community. The bankruptcy of SVB left global financial markets on edge, as well as financial markets in South Korea. On March 22nd, the 2023 World Baseball Classic won against the United States in the final. Japan won the WBC title for the first time in 14 years since 2009. However, our country was defeated by Russia and Japan, and was thwarted from advancing to the quarterfinals. What happened in April? On April 20, 2023, we heard that the rental scam was spreading nationwide. A lease scam is a scam where a landlord bribes the tenant for the deposit. It's been on the rise for the past few years. In 2023, leasing scams got worse as the market situation worsened. On April 24, 2023, SG Securities was suspected of trading against CFD and manipulating stock prices. A CFD is a variance agreement, in which an investor may gain or lose money as the price of a stock or futures fluctuates. SG Securities is accused of profiting from the CFD transaction. What happened in May, the month of the head of the family? On May 5, 2023, SSC Naples won the 2022-2023 season of Serie A. Napoli won its first Serie A title in 7 years thanks to Kim Min-jae's performance. This season, Kim Min-jae entered 35 league games and scored 2 goals to help Napoli win. On the 6th of May 2023, Queen Elizabeth II of England abdicated, and Prince Charles was crowned King Charles III. Charles III was the 302th king in English history. The coronation of Charles III is believed to herald the beginning of a new era for the English royal family. On May 11, 2023, the Korean government declared that COVID-19 was over. The Republic of Korea declared the end of COVID-19. 3 years and 4 months after the first coronavirus case was confirmed on January 20, 2020. The declaration of the end of COVID-19 marked the beginning of the real resilience of everyday life in Korea. In 2023, the value of the US dollar rose and shook the currency. China, in particular, accelerated globalization of yuan, increasing the value of yuan. The shifting currency and globalization of yuan had a huge impact on South Korea's economy. In 2023, payment of yuan surged. It's analyzed as a result of China's acceleration of yuan and globalization, as well as the tightening of U.S. public trade sanctions. This surge in payment on yuan is expected to change the Korean financial market. On May 25, 2023, the Nuri spacecraft of South Korea was successfully launched. On October 21, 2022, the Nuri failed to reach its target on the first launch, but on the second launch, it successfully launched and reached its target. What amazing things happened in June? On June 10, 2023, we received news that Prigozhin, the president of the Wagner Group, a private Russian army, attempted a coup. Prigozhin participated in the Russian invasion of Ukraine and was believed to have had ambitions to become the new Russian powerhouse. In a coup d'état, Prigozhin's coup attempt failed and reverberated greatly in Russian politics. There's growing anxiety about Russia's power structure and fear that President Putin's power base could be weakened. On June 21, 2023, the Korean government announced that 10,000 NI will be implemented from 2024. 10,000 is a new method of calculation that combines the traditional Korean age, Sesu, and the Western age, 10,000 years. 10,000 years means that the fetus becomes 1 year old. At conception, not at birth. It's similar to the traditional Korean method of counting one's age. The implementation of 10,000 years is expected to change the way we calculate Korea's age. In the case of washing, age calculations were complicated, and there were problems with age differences and so on. The implementation of 10,000 nai is expected to solve these problems. What challenging things happened in July? In early July, GSE&C became the first company in the construction industry to say, full reconstruction of the original construction. This means that GSE&C was able to complete the reconstruction for the first time in a year since the Hwajongdong apartment collapse in July 2022. GSE&C's reconstruction success is of great importance to the construction industry. Over the years, there's been a perception in the construction industry that when accidents happen, it's impossible to completely rebuild. However, GSE&C has challenged them to make the impossible possible, setting new standards for safety in the construction industry. At the end of July, the leader of a Korean religious group was arrested for sexual assault. This case has shocked the Korean society. This religious organization has had a huge influence in Korean society for decades. However, the cult's authority was quickly shattered when the leader was accused of sexual assault. This case raises fundamental questions about the authority of religion. It reminded me once again that religion's authority must be based on the faith of its followers. In mid-July, heavy rains ravaged all of Korea, causing a lot of damage. Specifically, at the underpass in Osong Eup, Cheongju, North Chungcheong Province, the rain overflowed, causing over 70 cars to drown and 13 people to die. This incident revealed a problem with Korea's disaster response system. It shows that the Osong underpass was already warned about the risk of flooding, but it was not properly prepared. Due to this incident, the Korean government is taking measures to improve the disaster response system. In early July, Kangin Lee of the South Korean national soccer team joined Paris Saint-Germain PSG. Lee Kong-in became the first Korean player to join PSG. Lee Kong-in's transfer to PSG helped elevate the status of Korean soccer. Moreover, as expectations for Lee Kong-in's performance increase, it's expected that interest in Korean soccer will increase even more. In late July, Kim Min-jae of the Korean national soccer team signed a 5-year contract with Borussia Dortmund of Germany's Bundesliga. Kim Min-jae became the first Korean player to qualify for Bundesliga. Kim Min-jae advancing to the Bundesliga is expected to contribute to the expansion of Korean soccer. In July, the Bank of Japan amended its YCC policy and began currency tightening. This seems to be a measure to ease Japan's inflation pressure. Meanwhile, in South Korea, a list of missing timber from broken apartments has been released. This list contains material that is presumed to have been used poorly, which is causing public anxiety. On July 21, 2023, a random stabbing occurred in Silumdong, Gwanak-gu, Seoul. Due to this incident, a man in his 20s died and injured 3 others. The incident took place around 2:07 p.m. that day in an alley near Silumdong, Gwanak-gu, Seoul. Mr. Cho suddenly swung a weapon at people passing by. Cho ran away right after the incident, but he was caught by the police. The suspect, Cho, testified during the police interview because he wanted to bring misfortune to others. This case has shocked the Korean society. We were horrified that this random crime had happened again. And we were outraged that innocent people had been victimized. What kind of change happened in August? On August 2, 2023, Fitch, the international rating agent, lowered America's ratings from AAA to AAA+. America's financial difficulties, political uncertainty, and so on. The U.S.'s credit rating declined for the second time since Standard & Poor's S&P went from AAA to AA in January 2023. The decline in U.S. credit rating is expected to have a major impact on the global economy. On August 3, 2023, a random stabbing occurred at Suhyun Station in Bundang-gu, Sungnam, Gyeonggi Province. According to the police and fire authorities, at Suhyun Station, Sungnam, at around 5:59 p.m. a man in his 20s drove his morning car into the sidewalk, entered a department store with a knife, and brandished a weapon. 13 people were injured, 4 were hit by a car, and 9 were stabbed. Ms. A ran away right after the incident. But 2 witnesses went to the police station and reported it. And the police arrested the culprit, who was standing at a nearby intersection. Mr. A stated in the police interview, "I felt uneasy and wanted to hurt people." This case has shocked Korean society. There was a growing sense of outrage at the fact that random crimes had occurred again, and at the expense of innocent civilians. From August 1 to August 12. (2023), the Saemangeum World Scout Jamboree was held in Gunsan, Jeollon Province. Over 43,000 youths from 170 countries participated in this event. Jamboree is a place where scouts gather to learn about nature and friendship through various activities, such as camping, and exploring. The 2023 Jamboree was the first event held in South Korea in 32 years. And it generated a lot of interest. But with the heat and the unrelenting nature of the event, in the middle of nowhere, many of the scouts complained of insects and thermal illness. Furthermore, when we heard that a typhoon was moving north, the event couldn't be held in Saemangeum anymore. So the scouts split up to hold the event. And the event ended with a K-pop performance in Songgumdong Stadium in Seoul. But the issue with the location caused a controversy over the use of the event and angered the entire nation. On August 14, 2023, Typhoon No. 10 Khanun passed through the Korean peninsula. Since it landed on the Korean peninsula, strong winds and heavy rains have wreaked havoc. On August 15, 2023, the Chinese government gave the group a full tour of civic groups. It's been 6 years since China lifted the ban on group tours, as a retaliation against South Korea, after deployment to SAD in 2017. The Chinese government says the reason they allowed the group tours is to boost foreign investment and tourism. However, the South Korean government believes that China has effectively ended its retaliation against SAD. In August 2023, the aftermath of China's real estate crisis intensified. Hungga Group, one of China's most prominent real estate developers, declared bankruptcy, as well as Wanda Group, in regulated Country Garden. China's real estate crisis began at the end of 2022. The Chinese government has tightened regulation of real estate, causing financial problems for real estate developers. I'm concerned that the Chinese real estate crisis will have a huge impact not only on China's economy, but also on the global economy. On August 13, 2023, the Japanese government contaminated water from Fukushima into the ocean. It's been a decade since the Fukushima disaster. The Japanese government has promised to dilute the water for 2 years and release it. But the international community is concerned about the environmental damage it will cause. According to the data released by the Statistics Agency on August 2, 2023, the total birth rate for the second quarter of 2023 was estimated to be 0.70. That's the lowest we've seen since statistics began in 1981. The total birth rate has fallen to less than 1 person since the fourth quarter of 2020 in 13 consecutive quarters. We are concerned that the decline of the population will greatly affect economy and society. It's already September. What could have happened? In September 2023, in South Korea, malatong, tanghu, and smoothies became popular. Malotong is an iconic Chinese dish with a bold flavor. It started to become popular in Korea in the early 2020s. But more and more people are enjoying it these days. Tangeru is a traditional Chinese dessert, made by melting sugar into glutinous rice cakes. In September 2023, it became a social media sensation and attracted a lot of people. Smoothie is a blended drink made from fruits, vegetables, and milk. In September 2023, it became a health food sensation and attracted a huge following. In September 2023, a new technology emerged that would transform the diamond market. Wrap green diamonds. A rolled-up diamond is a diamond synthesized in a laboratory. It has the same chemical and physical properties as conventional diamonds and is visually indistinguishable. A rolled-up diamond is characterized by its cheapness compared to conventional diamonds. It also has the advantage of not polluting the environment. The emergence of clean diamonds is expected to revolutionize the diamond market. The diamond market has always been regarded as a high-end luxury product. But the emergence of a ragged out diamond is expected to make it a more accessible commodity. From September 23 to October 8, 2023, the 19th Hangzhou Asian Games were held in Hangzhou, China. 45 countries, 40 events, and 482 games have been held. And Korea won the final gold medal at Hangzhou Asian Games. 42 silver medals, 59 silver medals, and 89 bronze medals held in 3 years since the COVID-19 pandemic has captivated international attention. South Korea has excelled in all the sports and has done very well. In particular, in archery, swimming and fencing. He won many medals and raised Korea's stature. In September 2023, a great anxiety grew in the Korean economy. It was due to the rise of the September crisis theory. The September crisis theory claims that after financial support ended, the real estate PF continued to expire, causing a crisis in Korea's economy. Financial support termination is a policy that the government has been implementing since the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. The government has been funding loans for independent businesses and small businesses struggling with COVID-19. However, as of September 2023, that policy ends. Property PF is financing projects that develop real estate. Property PF is an essential tool for developing properties that are hard to finance. However, in a recession, there's a risk that the PF will deteriorate. According to the September crisis theory, as financial aid ends and the real estate PF expires, the failure of independent businesses and small businesses may lead to the failure of real estate development businesses. There are concerns that this could lead to a huge crisis for the entire Korean economy. COVID-19 fear of a lack of loans was also a big issue in September. COVID-19 loans are government-funded loans for independent businesses and small businesses struggling due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As COVID-19 has subsided, more and more companies are struggling to pay their loans. According to the Financial Supervisory Service, the overdue rate of COVID-19 loans is 3.1% as of March 2023, and it's a 0.1% increase from December 2022. This shows that COVID-19 is a growing concern for poor loans. If poor loans become a reality, there are concerns that self-employees and small businesses will go bankrupt, leading to a real-life recession. And it could have a very negative impact on the Korean economy as a whole. So, what's new in October? On October 7, 2023, the Israeli, Palestinian and Hamas organizations Israel launched rockets in response to Palestinian rocket attacks, and the Palestinians launched rockets in response to Israeli bombings. The conflicts caused by provocation and airstrikes by the Qassam rockets have happened once or twice before. But this war has resulted in a surprise Hamas raid. Not only by rockets, but by Hamas ground forces. Attacks and kidnappings on civilians. Immediately, Israel fought back, and the war began. On October 20, 2023, the government decided to expand the quota of medical universities to address the shortage of medical staff. Therefore, over the 4 years between 2024 and 2027, a total of 1,000 more healthcare workers will be released each year. This decision is to prevent the deterioration of healthcare services due to lack of staff. The healthcare industry and people have high expectations. Since October 2023, a series of bugs have appeared nationwide, with bed bugs popping up all over the country. People have been posting photos of them in college dormitories, subway chairs, and dormitories, asking if their bed bugs can't be killed with even the smallest disinfectant. So anti-pestilence authorities are asking you to report bedbug outbreaks to local municipalities or health offices. Since October 2023, the government has intensified publicity for Mega Seoul. Mega Seoul is a plan to consolidate the metropolitan area around Seoul and develop it into a megalopolis. The government's plan is to use Mega Seoul to increase economic growth, create jobs, and become more competitive globally. However, some are worried that Mega Seoul might disrupt the regional balance. What kind of changes did we see in November? On November 1, 2023, the government decided to ban short selling altogether. Short selling is an investment in which stocks that are expected to go down are borrowed in advance, sold, and bought back at a cheap price when the stock price goes down. The government has banned short selling altogether, claiming that short selling causes the stock price to plummet and harms investors. A total ban on short selling will be enforced until June 2024. On November 8, 2023, Ha Sung Kim won the Gold Globe Award for playing in the U.S. Major League. He was the first Korean and Asian infielder in Major League history to win a Gold Globe Award. Kim Ha-sung was awarded a Gold Glove for his 2023 season. Third baseman division batting .303. 19 home runs, and 83 RBIs. Jing Ha-seong's award is being acknowledged as a great achievement for Korean baseball. On November 23, 2023, in response to the third launch of a reconnaissance satellite, the North declared a ceasefire of the agreement. In response to some of the provisions of the 919 military North Korea says it will not be imprisoned by the 919 Inter-Korean military agreement. To this agreement, it will immediately restore all military measures that were halted on land, sea, and air. On the 23rd, North Korea issued a statement to Korea's Central Communications Service, stating that they will be distributing more powerful weapons and new military equipment in the area. North Korea's declaration is expected to have a big impact on the inter-Korean relations. After the summit, relations between the two Koreas were expected to progress. But North Korea's declaration may lead to another cooling-off period. Charlie Munger, vice president of Hathaway, Berkshire, died on November 28, 2023, at the age of 99. Munger was an old friend and mentor to Warren Buffett, who was instrumental in the success of Hathaway, Berkshire. Munger was born in 1930 in Nebraska, USA. After graduating from Harvard in 1951, he joined the investment firm Lehman Brothers. In 1965, he joined Buffett as vice president of Hathaway in Berkshire. Munger was known for his extraordinary insight into investment. He was described as one of the most respected investors on the planet. Munger's death sent shockwaves through the investment industry. This is December, the end of 2023. And what moments surprised us in December? On the 19th of December 2023, the Hyundai decided to sell a Russian factory. After the Russian invasion of Ukraine in March 2022, the Hyundai stopped operating Russian factories. The sale of their Russian factories is partly due to economic sanctions caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. As economic sanctions continue against Russia, it becomes difficult for the Hyundai to continue their businesses in Russia. The sale of their Russian factories is expected to be a major blow to the Korean car industry. Hyundais have been producing more than 200,000 cars a year in Russia, which accounts for about 10% of South Korea's automotive exports. On December 14, 2023, the Korean Trade Council announced the first Korean trade deficit with China in 31 years. South Korea's trade deficit with China is expected to exceed $18 billion this year. South Korea's increasing trade deficit with China is due to China's decline in South Korea's exports. China achieved over 8% economic growth this year in the fourth quarter, pulling the global economy forward. On the other hand, South Korea's exports have dropped by more than 10% since the previous year. The increase in South Korea's trade deficit with China is expected to put a heavy strain on South Korea's economy. South Korea's trade deficit is expected to increase by more than $10 billion this year. On December 7, 2023, the 2024 year's CSAT was held. The CSAT has been revised this year to eliminate the killer questions and expand the students' right to choose. However, most of the students' evaluations are labeled as unacceptable. As the area of Korean language was expanded, examinees were judged to be more difficult. They were judged to be less discerning in the area of math. The 2024 CSAT failure to take the CSAT is expected to have a big impact. Exams. Universities are expected to reduce the number of college entrants exam results and increase the number of students in general. On December 6, 2023, the Chinese government decided to restrict elementary exports, essential ingredients used in the emissions reduction system of diesel vehicles called SCR, a catalyst for adaptive reductions. China's elemental export restrictions have shocked South Korea. South Korea imports about 700,000 tons of elements from China annually, about 90% of the imports from South Korea. China's elemental export restrictions are feared to cause elemental displacement in South Korea. Also, as elemental prices soar, the cost of operating diesel vehicles is expected to increase. This covers the history of events that occurred in Korea and around the world in 2023. So, in summary, 2023 was filled with victories, challenges, and unexpected turnarounds. What happened to us in this year? 2023 has created some of the most important moments. May the year 2024 be filled with better, happier, and more joyful things.